to how to create interesting and professional online meetings. For this part is actually, I would say that if you have been having online meetings for a while now, you are finding some ideas or breakthrough. Now today, this session will definitely help you on that part. Or if you're new to making online meetings, then this is also really helpful because it actually gives you an overview of everything. So this is a bit about bibliography about myself. If you're interested to know about me, how I started training, or how I become so involved in Toastmasters, this is my bio, short bio, but not interesting. So a bit of, if you want to think about two specialties that I've done in Toastmasters, one is that I completed 11 paths, so we create something called the Pathway Matrix, globally shared around the world. And two is online, something called the Project Infinity that I founded to connect the world together so that you can connect inspirational stories from your home to elsewhere and elsewhere to your home. Simple. And also helping people who are less privileged, underprivileged, such as disabled individuals. That's what our project is about. It's really about infinite possibilities for everyone. Now, if you like this workshop for today, please remember to credit your resource, also to give some feedback so that I can improve myself. This is very basic stuff. I hope that I can spend my personal time well spent to help everyone to pass on the knowledge to your own club members. If they want to refine their meetings onwards, that'll be helpful. Now, today's content is actually divided into 4 different phases, or rather saying 3 key ones and 1 things to note, which I will talk about it. These 3 phases are stages when you organize an online meeting. The first phase is actually getting to understand about online meetings, some basic overviews and stuff like that, agendas-wise. Phase number 2 is really the basics, like the meeting roles, what are the meeting roles available in that online meeting, and how do we make that better compared to in-person meetings. When you say in-person meeting, that just offline meetings, you are there, you're with your crowd, etc. But now it's online. So how do we make it better? Because in online, we do not have audience around us, but how do we keep the people online interact with your passion, with your professionalism? This is whereby we actually talk about phase number 2. Now, phase number 3 is whereby it gets interesting. For those of you who have actually organized online meetings for quite some time, these are the place whereby you can add interesting elements. I think panels would definitely love this because panels was like saying, I learned something today from comparative communicators today on the body language stuff. So these are all other elements that you can make an online meeting so thrilling, so fun. And most importantly, we have to take note of some precautionary measures. Now, phase number 1, I'll go for it, is called background overview and content structure. So nowadays, we are all connected online. Now, online meetings itself, they are divided into 2 different sessions for clubs, just for background knowledge. Since 2015, Toastmasters International established and authorized online attendance and online clubs. So 2015 is the core year whereby online are legitimate. Before that, they were actually all on trials. So testing, I've been campaigning for 9 years just for online, just to connect with people. Now, there are 2 different types of online, just for you to know. One is called 100% online clubs, or fully online clubs, in other words. So 100% online clubs, there are like 26 online clubs now functioning. I'll also list out them later on. And the 2, which is basically what we are doing right now, is called the online attendance, whereby everyone is given the opportunity to go online. We call that clubs that allow online attendance. That's the official term by Toastmasters. We can call that hybrid, offline, online, mix and stuff like that. But the thing is that we follow the rules. That's why if you want to call that official, it's like clubs that allow online attendance. It's too long, and you can actually use for conversation. As like, oh, I want to talk about hybrid, I want to talk about mix. But when you actually talk in the forum itself, or when you're talking with the district officers, then try to avoid using the informal terms and use the proper ones. So I remember back in the days when I first touched something like this. Anyone knows what this is? For those of you who are definitely MSN. Okay, so we have someone that actually revealed the answer of MSN. Anyone still know how to use an MSN in the past? MSN Messenger. This is the first time that I really got involved in online. That time, MSN was very popular. In in Asia, and I was like finding all different sorts of ways. There's no Zoom. There's no there's still Skype, I think, if I remember correctly, but no Zoom, no Blue Jeans, etc. So MSN is like a childhood memory to me. But then when I was actually planning for that workshop itself, we actually think about the days that I have been campaigning for it, and now is actually better than before. We have lots of different options such as Zoom, Blue Jeans, Skype, Cisco. I can name a lot of different systems that's using online attendance, and you have the privilege to experience the better ones. Back in the days, I only have like this two, and this is the only two that I bring my passion to. Now, this is online clubs, a series of online clubs you can see that is actually listed on Toastmasters International webpage. These are all online clubs that you can actually go for to experience yourself how online meetings work. So they are the kind of pioneers. I would say that pioneers in terms of trying out online for the first round. And most of them are, like, for example, if I point out that there are some clubs that is pretty country-based, like pros and cons will be from India. We have comparative communicator, which is actually based in US, but it's worldwide. We have diversity, which is actually from Japan. We have, let me see, first Arabic online club in the world that is from Arabic, Dubai. So these are the clubs that actually may represent different places, like Singapore Online will be representing Singapore. So these are country-based, but there are other clubs that is actually pretty different, like we have the ones I think is objective. It's actually a philosophy, if I remember correctly. And Art of 400 also has a different requirements to go there. If you actually have to talk with them, because I forgot there's like an overview of why they are named the Art of 400. So each club has its own culture and history, and you can actually go and reach out to them. It's a very amazing experience to know Toastmasters with different backgrounds too. Now, this is a sample. This is a club that I founded, Compare Communicators. We actually list out the Zoom. So you actually see that Zoom platform itself and the number. So when you actually go for online attendance, when you actually want to decorate your Toastmaster profile where find your clubs, please put your Zoom URL for people to visit your club. Now, especially when every club is actually online attendance, please let us know how we can reach you. Are you using Zoom? Are you using Skype, etc.? So give us some basic stuff. Like this is like the overview. When we want to visit a club, we want to know their platform they're using. We want to know what time zones, especially when it's all around the world, is time zones will be a crucial factor too. And then the contact details. If they put a number there, you might want to WhatsApp them. Or in China, there will be WeChat. In Taiwan, they'll be using Line. So know the common tools as well if you want to visit. That will actually increases your chance of having a very positive experience when you're visiting clubs online. Now, we talk about, this is online clubs. Now, we talk about a mixture. You can think about all different possibilities for online. You can see this is just an overview between China, Japan, US, and Canada. So look at all these possibilities. By having online, you can create different kind of imaginations, different cultural perspective, and you get to know each other. So online actually builds up a very nice platform for us to outreach resources. Like you can invite world champion speakers over to your club too, or district winners from other districts. Get to know them. So that's why there's lots of possibilities there. Now, this is for online attendance, which we are all in right now. If you belong to a district, this is called clubs with online that allow online attendance. So according to bylaws protocols 2.0, this is whereby we can actually see that we are actually under the stage of online attendance right now. So whenever we want to talk to others saying that now our clubs actually allow online attendance. So that's actually letting them know that we can allow them to join in. That's how it goes. So this is like a basic recap of some information that you might not know, but trying to help everyone to get up to notch. So online attendance is whereby this is what I would do. This is my club, Health Century. What I did is that I actually have find a club. If you know where the find a club button is in Toastmasters International, you have to tick the button called allow online attendance, and you can find clubs that has online attendance around the world. So different different types. If you want to find Hong Kong, go for it. If you want to find US, there are different clubs there. So search in your neighborhood. Maybe there is an online attendance club within your region, within your district, within your country. So this is how we goes to find clubs that we can link up, having joint meetings as well. So for me, I will actually list out the details very clearly, contact details, and also the Zoom URL. That's how I do for online attendance for nowadays. Now, this is the actual online attendance, meaning that what we are doing right now is actually not fully online attendance. What we are doing now is actually a mixture of both. What do you mean by online attendance? Meaning that you have people online, okay, and you have people in the place, in the venue. So this is like a mixture of both together. So this is online attendance in full detail. But what we experience right now is just a district club with online options. Now this is a group that I founded called the Project Infinity, which allows all online attendance. You can actually find all your online resources there. Even the clip for today, the YouTube, the stuff is actually on the bottom. You can actually take a screenshot. You can actually join us later. It's open to all. You can have all the Toastmaster online resources there as well. And you even know the time zones or some clubs in Europe, for example. You can actually visit them just to experience how they go. Now, the key difference between online and online attendance is that online is undistricted, meaning that they do not have a district to take care of them. But like us, we have a district, we have an area director, division director, we have contests. So online has its own called tape speech contest. Online attendance have all the necessary ingredients that you're having right now. The international, humorous, totals, whatever your district is doing, you have that. Everyone clear so far? You can give me a thumbs up. You're following up. You can open your thumbs up. I think this is like a background tutorial. Now, overview. In all Toastmaster meeting, we go by 3 simple standards. What comprises of Toastmasters meeting? So can you actually type in the chat box, what are the 3 core ingredients in any Toastmaster meeting? You always see them in these settings. You should know by now if you have been playing Toastmaster for a long time. What is I?
Prepared speech, impromptu, and evaluation.
Ah, great. Now I learned a new terminology. That's where we share. So prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation. These are the 3 important ingredients in any Toastmaster meeting. The others, like 3 facilitator-wise, you can actually sometimes you remove the R counter and no one cares. Like grammarian, they no one care because they do have enough people. But these 3 are always there. Now, in online, it's the same. It's like we are having an in-person meeting. It's the same thing. You might wondering like, what is the key difference? We have like online. This one is the actual agenda, and then this is what we do online. So you notice that there are additional roles that we will put in online, such as, for example, we add something called the body language monitor. Because in online right now, you can see, let me just close the screen. In online, the difference between online and in-person is that in-person, you evaluate, you can see that person, right? But now in online, you have to see the screen, and they would evaluate you based on your gestures and everything. And this body language monitor will look at how you position yourself in front of the screen. Are you clear? Are you having good lightings? Obviously, I'm not having good lightings. So if I want to make it even better, this is what I do. Because of the past trainings, for those of you who know the story, I did 3 trainings, and after which my camera spoiled. And after which I upgraded my materials with this now. I think panels can see the difference, right? Okay, this is what happens before. Okay, before, I don't think that there's any need for upgrading. But now, because I've been training a lot of times and my webcam and my router is actually spoiled, I have to upgrade to this. And I spend a lot of money, and then you can see a lot of things behind my scene. So I have to change a bit. This is called live demonstration of what not to show. Now, so you have different stuff. You also have the chat monitor as well that also keep track of the chat. So if there's any questions in the chat box, that usually be a chat monitor that gathers all these questions and help you to tidy up everything. So if anyone wants to volunteer themselves to be a chat monitor, feel free to keep track of any questions that you asked. And at the end, for frequently asked questions, I will answer them. Simple. Everyone can give me a thumbs up if you can hear this request. Thank you. So now, phase number 2, we already learned the basics of what online attendance is about. Now, the core bits, whereby everyone is here for the basic setup and role takers, and how we can refine better in online meetings. Now, you have to understand one thing. How many of you are new to online? I just want to close and share. New to online meaning that ever since the coronavirus, this is your first time playing online. After coronavirus, like this entire session called first time. Okay, please raise your hand if you actually are first timers in online. Basically, you haven't been playing before like 2018. Okay, so we see quite a number of hands. We also welcome people to open their webcam so that we can increase the interaction. So I can see your lovely smiles and faces. That's how we interact online. Thank you, Kelvin, for sticking out the tongue. Luckily, it's not recorded. Oh, yeah, it's recorded, though. So if you actually open up, you can actually have more interaction with me. I would appreciate that. Panels, thank you very much for laughter. This is how we observe different people, you know. We keep track of you guys to be fun. One of the basic things that we do online is that we want to keep people interactive. That's the difference. If we are actually in the person, we can actually just say, hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen you for a long time. I have a conversation. But online wise, you feel that I'm not there. You can't even shake your hands. So you want to build that interactiveness. You want to give that energy level there. So don't worry, if you don't want to open up your video, it's still okay. But if possible, definitely love to see your lovely smiles, love the interaction there. Now go back to the 3 things that we need to solve in an online meeting. If you imagine that you give a platform to someone that's new to online, it's very user-friendly. Would someone be wanting to try that? At least if it's user-friendly, they will try and think about, maybe it's easy for me to learn about online meetings. So think about the user-friendliness before you think about the next step. Like, are you using the right platform to go online? Most of us are using Zoom. Now, the question for everyone is Zoom the best platform out there? Now, I have done enough research to say something about it, but let me ask every one of you, is Zoom the best platform out there? Are there any other platforms that we can think about user-friendliness to our audience? This is a brainstorming question, though. You can actually type in the chat box first. Not really for me. Yes, I know some people don't like Zoom. Evelyn, maybe you can continue talking. Don't worry, I know that you were talking.
I'm just talking about WebEx because I think I've done WebEx before.
WebEx is actually pretty good. You can see lots of mixed comments. Like for me, I do like WebEx. I do like Zoom, although it's not under my recommendation part. But WebEx is actually one of my favorites, top 5, but it's not in my top 3. So Zoom, BlueJeans, and stuff like that. So there are different platforms for you to consider on. And I would love Skype. I'll explain why, though. First impressions, and the first impressions that really matters is that if you have an online meeting that is led by poor impressions, like the person is not professional, they randomly make mistakes, the meeting go over time, I cannot even log in. If you imagine all this unhappy stuff that is happening from the audience perspective, they will not come back for more. So the first impression counts for online meetings. And most importantly is the interaction, just like how I interact with you guys. Give me a thumbs up or wave and stuff so that I can keep you interacted along my workshop. And also most importantly is about the clarity. You need clarity for them to understand how online meeting works before they can get involved with you. So that's how we do for online meetings though. So for user friendliness, we try to have things that is not too difficult for them to understand. They can just try it. Even a 7-year-old can try and learn about it. If you can do that manual in this manner, then congratulations, you have actually overcome your first obstacle by giving that user friendliness. This is only the basic setups. Now, my personal recommendation for online platforms is that I would love to recommend Zoom, because Zoom actually has one feature that I particularly like, is that if you kind of have a very poor bandwidth, and you do not want to spend too much money on this equipment that I'm holding right now. This is called a game router. I have to actually upgrade my game router so that it can expand so much, but it's very expensive. You do not want to spend too much money on that. Then you're thinking about Zoom actually has a good control over bandwidth. So if you have many people switching on the webcam, yes, potentially you are still connected. You are not getting disconnected. This is actually one of the factors that affect the contestants. If you're competing online and you have everyone switching on the webcam, there is a slight possibility that if your computer is poor bandwidth and you get disconnected just because of that, you do not want to ruin your chance. So this is what we talk about. Like Zoom actually provides a nice backup option that even at low bandwidth, you are still connected to the meeting. Now, another tool that I recommend is BlueJeans, which is a kind of a new name for some of you who might not even like BlueJeans. Is this something that I wear? So BlueJeans is whereby it's another software which has higher audio quality and also the higher video quality. The difference between BlueJeans, in my opinion, compared to Zoom is that BlueJeans has a higher chance of disconnecting compared to Zoom. Just only a slight higher chances. But for me, I want to manage my risk. That's why I prefer Zoom, and it's affordable too. Now, finally, I would like to introduce our dear friend Skype. Now, for those of you who like Skype, you will know that, well, Skype have improved over the years. And in the past, Skype is a very poor software that I would never recommend in my entire lifetime. But Skype now is actually improving in terms of reliability. And most importantly, compared to the earlier two tools, is that it's free. Now, if you do not have budget and you want to have online meetings, then Skype might be a good choice. You do not want to spend too much money on that. And another alternative to Skype would be Google Hangout. Anyone heard about Google Hangout? Yeah, so Google Hangout would be another tool for recommendations too. Now, my personal non-favorite is GoToMeeting. The reason why is because, okay, just for a history check, is that in the past, online clubs, other than the one that I founded, so uses GoToMeetings. And I have been visiting a lot of online club meetings. And guess what? Out of the 36 times that I visited online clubs which uses GoToMeetings, I get disconnected 30 times. And think about the experience. I would never, ever try GoToMeeting again. Okay, but that may appeal to you. If you're using a very cool functioning computer, that's fine. Literally, you can go for GoToMeeting. It's their choice, because whoever chooses the platform is the club. So you can actually go and visit the club that uses this platform. And trust me, if your computer is not working well, you don't get disconnected only. Your whole system get crashed. I have blue screens on my computer. Imagine that. So that's actually how severe it wants to be. That will ruin my entire experience on visiting online clubs. Now, next one is that the power of first impressions. Now, first impressions are very important in terms of any online meetings, is that you want to leave them with a nice professionalism sense. What do you mean by that? Now, imagine that you are new to Toastmasters, or you are a guest. You are visiting another club, which is online attendance. Now, what I would do is that if I give you a pamphlet of understanding what Toastmasters is about, and if I give you a very professional confirmation email that's tailored to you, would you feel more welcome? Now, these are the few steps that I think quite a lot of clubs may have missed out, is that you give them a nice welcoming impression. You want to welcome them part of your family, part of this entire meeting. You want to keep them interacted, involved, because when they are joining in, then they didn't know what your club is actually using for, like, what is Toastmasters? Some guests will actually ask that question. And if you provide them with an overview, a basic recap of how your club culture works by confirmation email, clear details of the time conversion. Okay, one point, time conversion. If you actually help them to convert into the time zone, it's an extra step to let them feel that, thank you for your professionalism. I appreciate everything that you do. Now, the whole feeling from a guest perspective actually elevates to a new level if you think from their perspective. Okay, this is some basic stuff that I noticed that most of the online clubs do not do. I know that some clubs, like online presenters, Some other clubs, such as like Compare Communicators, will do something like that. Now, not all will do. So I will recommend, if you want to go for your online attendance meetings, try this. Welcome guests, let them have this nice little pamphlet and then connect with them. Now, next thing is that you need to make sure that there is no communication errors. You do not want them to be like, I visit this club meeting and then suddenly you change the room ID, which is common in Zoom. Some people do not know how to use Zoom. They keep on changing IDs, the room IDs, and then you didn't notify them in time. Communication errors, boom. You lost your potential guests. So you need to prepare for all this clear and effective communication to your guests. Everyone clear so far on this part? You can give me a thumbs up? Thank you. Now, you also want to give an extra mile on that by giving them a short guide of how to use this platform. Now, let me do a poll for everyone right now. Before you even know Zoom, okay, remember the first time that you used this platform. How was your experience? Do you know how to click on the buttons? Like the bottom left, you have the mute button, you have to stop video. Oh, there's a chat button. Really? I can rename myself? Okay, there are different things. Now, let me ask everyone, how was your first experience when you do not know how to use these buttons? You can actually type in your chat box. So I'm actually asking everyone to raise up your hand to like, look at my hand and then stop typing. Not good at all. You have to self-explore. Some people may rehearse though. Right? Totally blur, everyone's like confused. I do not know how to use this. Experience is really bad. So you are lost. So this is an element of clarity there. As an online attendance club, like clubs that offer online attendance, you want to give them a nice rundown of how it can be done. Okay? So you might want to give them a nice short video of Zoom tutorials. Or you can do like before the meeting starts, 15 minutes, test their microphones, show them a Zoom tutorial, work with them, feel that the power of conversations and communicating is actually working for the guests. So these are the tiniest details that we care in an online meeting that makes your meeting more professional. People will want to come by more often. This is what in return helps the membership retention and welcome new guests. Also explain how your agenda works, because every club actually runs by a different agenda. I can assure you, I visit so many clubs, like not just 520, I actually visited over like 700 to 800 clubs by now. Now, every club has its own culture. I spent like kind of my lifetime on Toastmasters. I think I went crazy on that part. But the thing is, different clubs has its own operating factors. Like there may be some clubs, just for a heads up, there may be some clubs that actually requires the general evaluator, okay, the general evaluator to introduce the evaluators. Have you been to a club that actually do that? Yes. There are some people who actually put the general evaluator with 15 to 20 minutes so that the general evaluator will think that his time is well spent in that club at the end of the whole session. Anyone been to a general evaluator which is actually at the end but do not introduce anyone? I think Angela did. So there are different ways. You have to explain how your club runs, right? Different clubs runs by different ways. So, oh, there is a joke master. So what does a joke master do? So let them know these roles very clearly. And when I'm clear about that, then I can be part of your own active participation. Everyone clear so far on that part? Okay. Just for information, Sarah, you can also record it because I didn't record right now. I haven't recorded yet. I think I didn't click the record button. I apologize. I've been talking
start recording from now?
Yeah, you can start recording. I even forgot to record my whole session. So thank you very much for those of you who are recording. Thank you. Yeah. So now, if we actually look at the next part, which is like, there are so many roles, okay? Make sure that they know each roles and how they run, okay? This is only a sample template. I actually make it smaller, but this is actually like all the roles that we had in our agenda. To make it bigger, like this is like Sergeant at Arms, President, what does the President does, the Toastmaster of the day, counter, body language monitor, chat monitor. There's so much roles. Let them know what each role does. Like it may be the same as your club itself, but when you have an online club that actually add additional elements, you want to know them beforehand. Otherwise, you'll be like confused. You do not know what each role represents, and voila, someone actually give you a role called body language monitor. What do you do then? Do you evaluate the body, or do you evaluate the face? Or do you evaluate the things that they show on webcam, or anything that is actually at the background, such as my olive, for example? Okay. So there are different things that maybe, like, because of lack of clarity, they may not know exactly how it goes. Okay. Now, also try to give them 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Tell them early, come by early, so that you can mingle with us. Imagine that you go to a club meeting and someone say, hi, how are you doing? And then let's join for fun. Let me get to know about you. Get that bonding ongoing. Also test their equipments, because the microphones and the webcams are the two toughest stuff that you need to handle online. Even in contests, you have to think about, you have to have a valid, you have to have a working webcam that shows you, and also your audio that is very clear for everyone to see. Okay, you have to have a place whereby you can demonstrate your gestures somehow. Maybe that will actually involve a lot of people. Now let them test the equipment. Also ask where they are from. Bond with them. Okay, bonding is the key. Okay, and some people actually did something before our meeting starts. So remember the music. You can actually play some music to warm everyone up. Keep them occupied. Keep them feeling relaxed and maybe enjoying the whole session. Okay, everyone clear so far? This is only basic stuff. You can give me a thumbs up if you're following. I'm actually looking. Okay, so this is what I will do additionally. I will actually have something called the buddy system, because the difference between an online and an in-person, which is basically community clubs and stuff like that, is that in person, you can actually talk with that person by walking to there, right? Like, I notice a person that's being left behind, and I walk towards him and say, hey, how are you doing? My name is Aaron. I'm the VP of this club. You feel much more welcome. Now, online clubs, because of a lack of interaction, you have to be slightly more proactive. I usually use something called the buddy system. What I mean by buddy system is that I will assign 1 or 2 members, like only maybe 1 member, just for example, 1 member to talk with a guest that is totally new to Toastmasters, that's totally new to here. Or maybe a guest from elsewhere who is also a Toastmaster. Let them follow through. Having that pair up makes it closer, makes the bond closer. Or if you think that you are lacking in manpower, don't worry, you can 1 to 5. At least you're caring about 5 different people. In case they have any questions, they will ask you directly. Like, they will ask you simple questions like this. These are the 3 common questions they will ask online. The guests, okay? 1, can I have the agenda, please? Common to everyone. I need to know the agenda. I want to know the flow, right? Yes. So the second one that they will ask is that, is the meeting starting now? Because they will not know when the meeting actually starts. Some people will just like wait for like 5 to 10 minutes, or even like wait for half an hour, and the host is not there. You know, they want to know everything that's clearing their thoughts up. Okay, and then the third common question that the online guests will ask is that, is there any emails or follow-ups that I can contact? Like, if I want to join the club, okay, this is whereby the VPM steps in, okay? I want to know about how to join the club. So send me some emails and stuff like that. You know? Follow up with me. I want to care about this club. So these are the 3 common questions that usually they will usually do. Now, always lead them well. So if you actually think about all these questions, it's easily solved if you think about the solutions. Now, this is the part whereby I'm going to give a now and refined. Now is basically what we are doing now. Go to like online meetings right now. There are lots of online meetings around the world right now. Now, this is the now part. I want to give you the idea for refining. This is within that context. I haven't talked about ideas yet. I'm only talking about how do you invite better. Now, we talk about the common rules. Let's divide by common rules. Toastmaster of the day. So can anyone tell me what is the most important role or responsibility that the Toastmaster of the day will do? Actually type in the chat box, and then we can actually see the interaction there.
Okay.
Don't worry, there's no right or wrong answer. Don't worry, I won't bite you because I'm too far away. I'm in front of the webcam, right? Like, host a meeting, tour guide. Yes, these are the elements. You bring the vibe, you lead them. You want to create this exciting elements whereby you, being the host, very cheerful, and then you make the guests laugh and enjoy the whole session. Would you want that? You want to make a lasting impression that this meeting is led by a very good host. I enjoy my time. I want to come back for more. This is what we do for online. Even in in-person meetings, that's what we do. Now, this is the common thing that some people do online now. I can assure you that out of 100 clubs, there will be like 90 clubs that's doing this. Like they would just say, welcome to, let me think about a club. Welcome to ABC Club. My name is Aaron. I'm your host for today. Today's agenda would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would you want to stay in my club then? Just like from what I'm going to say, like, this is super boring. Like everyone is going to stand up the same thing, like introducing the same stuff. Like what is the exciting element that you can do better than just telling us about the standard procedure? We've seen too much of this. Now we want to refine and make it better. How do we do that? We do not want boring introduction. We want to have very nice, impressive, unique, that is your club feature, okay? These are my suggestions though. If you want to jot it down, it's actually really helpful. So one of the things that I would do definitely is to do a warm-up. Okay, to be a good host, you need to build that interaction. So let's say, for example, right now, I'm going to stop share and ask everyone to raise up your hands. Okay, raise up your hands and keep on shaking so that we show support. Now, everyone open up your webcam so that we take the next step of having a photo shot. So can anyone, for a time being, help me to do a print screen so that we can actually capture every lovely faces online? Anyone can help me do that? I can't do it with my 2 hands up. Just do a print screen and then basically it works. So now this is the first part whereby the host would do. Okay, this is not the standard whereby you see the host, even in clubs, they were just like, welcome to our meeting. I appreciate your time for coming by. Okay, come on. We are used to that. Now, if you actually do this wave and take a picture, screenshots, or even like having fun or asking questions, like help people next to you, which basically you have no one, help them to give a light massage. You see what I'm doing right now, right? You have different people on the screen, right? Help them to give a light massage or even say hi to them. Hi. And you can do this kind of interactiveness. Think about it. This is only just one idea. I'm just giving you loads of ideas later on, okay? Now, also, like what I did is I do a warm-up, waving, and photo shooting. You have to make as interactive as possible. Ask questions like, we have a moments of truth, or even we have the guest introduction. Now tell us something so special that you will blow us away in our online meetings. So be more interactive. Give them their spotlight too. And also, you can actually do it in a very professional manner, saying that, welcome to the online meeting. My name is Aaron. I'm your host for today. A couple of house rules that we always carry. The first house rule is that we want to make sure that we want to show our support for our speakers. So everyone can hold their hands, wave it, and show support every time we have a speaker coming up. Is that easily done? So basically, like ask questions and stuff. You can show the professionalism by giving your energy out as well. Although there's no one around, or maybe your mom or your sister saying that, what is Aaron doing? So that will be a situation whereby you have to overcome somehow, okay? Not just this, we also have something like the most important thing in a Toastmaster day online is to always create a vibe. Always create fun vibe whereby they are always enjoying. Look at all these smiling faces. This is what I hope at the very least in my workshop that you can have fun with us, right? I'm not going to make it like, this is a very boring tutorial. Welcome to listen to Aaron's speech. No, come on. This is way over that. We want to make sure that we are having some fun elements. We can actually bring our kids as well. We also can bring different people, like friends, joining the webcam and having fun conversations. Get involved. Bring that vibe. Share it. And you will have an excellent Toastmaster meeting for the start. Everyone follow so far? You can give me a thumbs up. Thank you. I noticed that people are dropping, so I hope that I'm not chasing people away. Now, next thing that we do online is that we think about timers. So now timers, some people are standardized, will definitely hold up a green, yellow, and red card in front of the camera, right? Tell me if you are doing that. Raise your hand. If you're using a very standard Toastmaster way, you hold up a green, yellow, and red. Online, okay? Some people don't even know how to do the green, yellow, red. Let me just show a demonstration. Okay, this is red, okay? This is red, right? Okay, I'm going to switch off my webcam. No, switch off my sharing. This is red, right? Some people are actually doing this. Can you see red? You cannot, right? Literally, you have to give a distance, for goodness sake, right? You have the situation whereby you have to make sure that it's visible. Like what Rochelle is doing right now, having a nice virtual background. If you don't mind me spotlighting you for a bit, that this is like, thank you. Don't worry, we love to feature you online. Okay, so we have this one. So, but the thing is, there's a downside. Rochelle can actually move around, move your head or move your hands and stuff like that. Hold up your hands in a virtual background. You can see that it's actually like she becomes a bit hollowish, right? Like look at Millie. This is a really good example of what we call the holo effect. The holo online, the ghosts accompanying you. So this is what happens if it fails. This is called like a fail viper one. So we see one successful one, which is Letty. So basically we have, this is actually okay. We call that acceptable. But this is what we do for online timing. Not just this, we also share something else such as this. We refine it, not just showing the color cards, but we refine it with a different element. This is called when we do the lightings, right? We actually learn to also support the timer by spotlighting her, because the spotlighting actually focus on the timer so that the timer will pop up in front of your screen when you are a speaker, and then when you're speaking, you suddenly see, oh, green. I can continue and keep track, just like what in-person club meeting would be. Okay, it's just like exactly the timer raising up the card, exactly that, same effect. Okay. Now we also learn how to pin from a speaker perspective. Learn how to pin the learn how to pin the timer. So let me ask every one of you. Anyone knows how to pin a video? Okay, I'm actually looking at people who don't. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who don't, now for those of you who knows, for those of you who know, please type in the chat box of teaching how people pin on the video so that we can actually see whether you're a good teacher or not. So for me, my perspective is very simple. Find a lovely picture that you see on the screen. For those of you who do not know, okay, for those of you who are using the laptop version, okay, that's the difference. Laptop and mobile. Laptop first. So laptop is that you find your mouse cursor, find any lovely picture that you want to, like you want to focus on Sarah, you want to focus on Angela, for example. Okay, I will put my mouse cursor on that screen, and you'll notice that on the top right-hand corner, there are 3 little dots, right? Now click on the 3 little dots, and there should be a button for every one of you, everyone. There should be a button called Pin Video. Now I'm going to unspotlight myself so that you can actually do something called the Pin Video button. Now, do you see the Pin Video button, right? I see Shirley actually nods. If you see the Pin Video, that's usually what the speaker will do. I will find my timer, okay, find my timer, and then pin the timer. That's the usual practice for a speaker online, so that we can keep track of it. Not just looking at the gallery view, but we can focus on, oh, the timer is there, I can pin it. Everyone clear so far on this one? On why they have to pin? Because they can make sure that the timer is well visible on the screen. But then we also do something called the spotlight, which is like, for example, I want to find someone that I want to spotlight. Oh, no, I want to spotlight Joanne if you want to be on the screen. So I would like to spotlight Joanne. But her network is a bit, yeah, so we want to spotlight on her. So imagine that she's a timer, and I'm going to spotlight her. That will actually shows that timer card on the screen. And then after when she has finished holding like 5 seconds or so, I'll continue spotlighting myself. And we repeat the process for yellow, for her, and then after which I will spotlight myself after 5 seconds for myself. So everyone clear so far on that part on why we have to spotlight the timer, so that everyone in this room can see the timer. This is what the host can support. This is only just 2 examples. Obviously, we have more. Now, what happens if I want to do a virtual background, or like we have just demonstrated, and virtual webcam? Virtual webcam are something different. Usually, this is something that I like to do. For those of you who have been to my workshop, you will definitely see what I would usually do, but not a black screen, though. This is actually not a poor example, not a good example. So for me, I need to set up something called, I use something called the Sparkle Cam. Some people will use many cams. These are the 2 tools that we use, and we will try to make ourselves as creative, as personalized as possible. For those of you who attend the contestant tips, This is what I usually do. Contestant tips wise, this is what I would usually do, and I will demonstrate it. Voila. Can you see me in the screen right now?
Yeah.
So this is whereby we personalize and make it more fun. But imagine that it's not just me, but every single one having their own graphics, own pictures. Like someone will be in Hawaii, someone will be in France. Like having this personalization makes you stand out and also make everyone feel wow. Okay, it's just like you are the real cool person out there. Okay, I'm just doing a demonstration. This is what we usually do. Now, for me, I will have a question though. What happens if I'm not that tacky? I don't know how to use virtual background. It's just really bad. I don't know how to use a virtual webcam. This is so complicated for me. So what can I do for timer then? How do I refine it better? So this is just a sample of what I do. You can see that this is actually Sparkle Cam. So you can see this, whereby I can even make, for example, I can even make a lion. See this? See me? You can see that lion there. But this is just only for people who wants to know the background. But now, if you want to refine it better, what we do, for those of you who are not too tacky, instead, we actually clap our hands. Very clear, right? 5 minutes, I will clap once. 6 minutes, I will clap twice. And then 7 minutes, clap 3 times. And after which, over time, simple to follow. Everyone clear on that part? Why we have to clap until that person goes down? Only the timer will do that. So that's what we do for clapping hands. Same thing with ringing a bell. Just ring once, twice, 3 times. This is actually for those who do not want to do the standard way of, I don't have my green, yellow, and red, so I will do this. Now, there's also another element of sharing screen. Sharing screen with a PowerPoint with green, yellow, and red, that's actually really okay. The downside of sharing screen when you do timer is that what happens if you, the timer, get disconnected? This is actually what will happen. Your screen will be frozen. Your share screen will be frozen, I repeat. And everyone has to see your share screen for the next 10 to, no, I wouldn't say next 10 seconds, next 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And they cannot do anything about it, except the Zoom host, which will be actually overcoming that factor. Now, this is one risky point for those of you who are sharing screen, but also kind of okay for new members. Just click on the share screen button and you have it. Now, there's also something called the chat button. Now, you will see, for those of you who are using phone version, okay, oh yeah, I forgot to mention about how to pin the video for mobile, right? I just mentioned about pin the video from a laptop. For a pin the mobile, I actually do a very nice interface. Hold your phone, find a picture, find a screen. If you like that person, tap that person gently. If you do not like that person, type that person harshly twice, and that will be pinned. Simple to follow for mobile versions. Okay. Now, this is usually the joke I would say. If you don't like it, yeah, I just press you because you're the timer. But yeah. Now, for next thing is that the elements whereby we talk about timing is that we have this thing called. Can anyone see the chat right now? This is what I would do if they are sharing the PowerPoint slides. If they are sharing the PowerPoint slides, I have to repeat. If they're sharing the PowerPoint slides, this green, yellow, and red will be helpful to signal the time. Okay? We have to care about people who are sharing the screen cannot see the timer. Okay, they will not see the timer. You understand where I'm coming from, right? For those of you who actually shared the screen before, you will notice that, oh, my timer is gone. How am I supposed to see the timer? So this is like green, yellow, red that will help you to solve that slide problem. Or if you think that that's not the best solution, clap once, twice, and 3 times. Clear, right? That will help people to gauge the time. So don't use the standard way of green, yellow, red. Think about the ways that refine it to make a better experience for online members. Clear so far? Okay. Thank you for 64 people that's still surviving in this room. No, I usually joke about this. Okay, next. Now, next thing for people will be like table topics now. So you will see that people who are table topic master, they always ask like, I will have 5 questions. Anyone raise their hands? ask the questions. And in online, we don't just raise hands because some of us will switch off our webcam. So how do they actually raise hands, right? So Lati actually did one really good example just now. He used something, the robotic type of blue raising up their hands. So that's actually one way that we do to raise hands. But then as a table topic master, we can't always ask them to like raise up your hands because we do not know whether they're actually raising up or not. Okay, that will be a network delay. Okay, that will be definitely network delays. Like we notice one that's raising up their hands and two is like that person has actually raised their hands but it's lagging out your computer. Okay, so there will be a network delay. How can you be fair? What about the people who are in the chat box that says, I want to answer the question? How do you coordinate? So this is what I would do as a table topic master, is that I need to find a way that is my priority. This is my tip. This is still the now part. My tips for table topics is that I'll pick with high priority with those people who switch on the webcams. Now, let me ask you this question. Why do I pick the people who are on the webcams first? Now, leave in the chat box and let us know why you think that way. I will pick the people on the webcam first. Oh, Sarah actually did answer the main point. Because the webcam, it shows whether you are there. Simple answer. If you are picking the people who are on webcam, high chances that they will listen and then they answer it. If you're picking a blank screen, for example, would you guarantee that person will answer it? Oh, maybe that person's AFK, away from keyboard, or maybe eating lunch or dinner. You do not want that situation to embarrass yourself or 1 minute silence. You want to make sure that those people you're going to answer this question will be there to answer. Now, after those people who are on the webcam, now the second priority is those people who actually type in the chat box. Now, let me ask you again, why would I pick the second priority as those people in the chat box? Nope, haven't yet. So for me, why? For those of you who are still thinking, I will review slight answers. Is that when we pick the people who are on the keyboard side, that's not on the keyboard, on the chat box. Is that what I would say is that for those of you who are planning to answer the question, these are the two methods. One, you actually open your webcam and raise up your hand. We'll actually pick the people who raise up your hands. If we haven't picked anyone that's from there, then we'll pick the people who actually type in the question in the chat box saying, number one for question 1, 2 for question 2, 3 for question 3. Everyone clear so far on that part? If you actually type 1, type 2, type 3, it shows you're there. That is actually how I prioritize the table topics, to make sure that people will answer the questions and there will be a smooth transition. Okay, so this is only just for now. Now I want everyone to think about what can be done better or refine it as a table topic master. Think about all these different ideas. This is just only a sample of the ideas, what I would do as a form of refining. First of all, think about interaction. We are lacking interaction online, right? So let them buddy up. Let them have a role playing online. One actually look at someone else's webcam and try to guess what it is. Or maybe one speak, one actually answer the question, and the other person acts. You see how it goes? So I will actually spotlight the person who's acting. And the person who's speaking will actually say their own stories, and the person who's acting will listen to the story and act it up. Online is possible too. The other option that we'll actually do for role playing, even on table topics, is that they must use a specific word. So let's say for example, I will ask them to use this word saying princess, or even like Cinderella. Then they will have to use in their table topic speech on that wordings. This is like the way that you play around with table topics, add more challenge, add more fun in there. Now online, you actually can do something even more effective than just in person, is the change storytelling. Now you can actually pick the people along the side of the boxes, right? So now let's say, for example, that I can see every one of you here who is on the webcam. So I will actually answer the question first, and I answer it, and when I finish it, I'll say, I have the choice to pick someone. I would like to throw the ball to Sarah to continue on my story. And then Sarah continues, and then make it short. Now you see that getting the audience interaction and involvement is better than leading them too much. Let them feel more involved. That's overcoming the interactiveness on an online perspective. Now, okay with that part so far? Thank you. Give me a thumbs up always if you think this is a good point. If you think that's brilliant, I would like to give my virtual wave. So that's how I indicate good and okay and poor. No, don't do that. Okay, just doing an example. And we also have something called the item box. Now, item box is like I will actually open like this is an example. This is actually not a really good one, but just imagine that this tissue paper has something else. Okay, so I will actually take out in the box and then pick anything item out, and then you have to talk about it for 2 minutes. Right? You can actually do the item box challenge. This is what we do for online meetings. It's also popular for community clubs. You can actually think about it. Now, all these ideas are easily extracted if you think, right? You think that this is like, it's easy, everyone knows it, but then how can I not think about it? Now, if you keep on using it, keep on practicing it, that's becoming your part of the agenda. Now, these are all my experience that I've experienced for the past 13 years. I've tried a lot of crazy things that basically is my Toastmaster experience. I can share with you, and you can take any one that you like, okay? The wordings, anything that you like. Do not take my word for it, okay? You can think about any ideas that works for your club. Okay, so far on that part? So we do not restrict you and say, you have to choose what I'm saying. Don't. You can think about anything that works. Thank you. So I'll just continue on that part. Now, this is only for table topics. Now, for online evaluators, like, no, this is actually a speaker. I think some people would know who this person is. This is David Carl from Online Presenters, and he has been an amazing presenter. He even found the Toastmasters, for example. Now, as a speaker, now, do you really need to sit down? Let me ask you a question. Type on the chat box. Do you really need to sit down to talk about it? Just do your speech? Now, he has been doing that for a long time, sitting down. And he has been playing for online for more than I can count the years, but he still sit down. But that doesn't mean that that's a professional way, okay? I'm not highlighting, I'm not criticizing you, David, but I'm just saying that you can do better as a speaker, okay? I know you for a long time already. So this is what I would do if I want to refine better. Stand up. If you want to stand up, stand up. If you don't want to stand up, then you make sure that you are pretty visible or have a nice camera that shows the lightings on your face. Don't appear like charcoal. If you are having a situation like this, I'm going to do a little demonstration of what I mean by that. Now, everyone can see that I'm actually having a very poor lighting right now. It's very blurry, right? This is actually a poor camera. So I will find, where's my phone when I need it? Okay, imagine that, oh, there is a phone. Thank you. So this is a very poor. You can see that this part on my face is dark, right? So what I do, this is what I do. In the past, when I pretty don't care about online, is that I will switch on the torchlight. See this? This is called overexposure. Okay, do not do this. This is crazy. Move a bit away. See this? This is called overexposure. Now, do you feel that you can see my face better now? This is one way that we speakers have to care about our image online. Okay, this is for everyone have a phone, right? Please say you do. If you don't, I'll find some sponsors to find you a phone. Maybe a recycle phone, and maybe that will be helpful for everyone. But a phone will definitely get you some way to solve some problems, okay? Even your phone will be very helpful when your network breaks and you will have your mobile phone that connects with you, right? That is a backup plan. Now I'll go back to where my money spent is my better webcam. Is whereby a webcam makes a difference in that part. Now, as a speaker, you can stand up. You can actually do like notes of different things in mind. You can grab a friend if you have your sister, siblings, and anyone who you can prank on. Bring them into your show, your camera show, and then talk and then have a speech. right? You can actually bring the props there. You can even bring, like I always do, show play with my olive. Anyone love this olive? For those of you who know olive, you will feel that there's a connection, right? For those of you who haven't seen this movie, you will feel that what's this snowy thing? So it will actually be a nice, like, you know, those kind of like self-talk. Like, how are you doing today? Are you finding it okay? How's my workshop? Oh, you hate it. Okay. So that's how we do that interactive self-improvised methodology. Okay. So bring a prop, help yourself, wear a hat. You can personalize yourself, right? You don't need to just sit down there and do speeches. Make it even better. Refine it, okay? Or you can use a new gadget. Like you can use a new webcam or like new props for visualization effect. It's up to you. Online has more options than that. You can't bring your whole 3D model or a 3D model into a real life speech, right? But you can do it online. You can actually have virtual backgrounds, just like what I did. I put a lion there just now. I put myself in the wallpaper. These are some example effects that it can actually help you to heighten your speaking, or else saying your methods to actually speak online. Now you can actually make yourself look very cool, like being in the background very nice, as if you are there, but you're not. Let us have the vibe. The more vibe, the interaction. Remember the interaction part? You need to have that interaction. Have that part and then add this element into play. Make your online meeting interesting with this. Now, evaluators are very standard, being a good listener, etc. But in online evaluation, you can do something better. Now, what happens when we do evaluation in person is that free nice points, a nice summary, free improvement points, full stop. Okay, so what I would do if I have to being better evaluator is that I can do something called the show and tell. According to my show and tell, use the examples that the speaker has done and do the same impression and heighten it. This is called the show and tell. Or you can do a screenshot, just like what we do. Screenshot any parts that the speaker is talking about, and then after which capture it and show it back to them. Do a PowerPoint slide on the spot. Click the print screen and then copy and paste and show which part that person can improve on. This is what we do to make it even more professional. I can take snapshots of people who are going on online speeches, and then after which I highlight the part that you could have done better at this part, whereby you're actually showing your mouth and smiling. You can smile better. Well, I wouldn't say smile better, is that you can actually be much more relaxed and enjoy the show. You will show it out. You can list it out with your screenshot, with evidence, okay? Now, also also make an action plan online. You can actually this is my ingredient plan for you. Like, first of all, every day do a 2 minutes rehearsal in front of a camera or in front of a mirror, saying that you are handsome, you are pretty, and then after which build your self-confidence from that. The action plan. Remember the nutrition plan. If you go to a diet nutritionist, they will set you a diet, right, of what you need to follow. Now, same thing, action plan for them. This is the daily exercise that you can do. You can do online using that method. Plan it out, customize it, make it even more interactive. And remember, in online evaluation, there are lagginess. What do you mean by lagginess? Meaning that if you speak too fast, then if their bandwidth is not that good, if their computer is very slow, they will not be able to pick all your words. So as an evaluator in online, it's even more critical for you to become as simple as possible when you're conveying. Use simple words that's easily understood and can be understood within like 5 to 6 little wordings per sentence. So these are some recommendations that if you want to give a simplicity, people can at least catch the words. Okay, catch the words before you get disconnected or you get lagged out. They want to hear the clarity part. Everyone follow so far? Can give me a thumbs up if you do. Thank you. Now, phase 3. We have talked about phase number 1, 2, and now 3. Now, 3 part is that whereby we can add interesting elements. This is whereby everyone will have their brain juice on. These are all my recommendations or my examples of how you can make each role interesting. So now, you have a light bulb. This is you. Okay, this is actually you that with a light bulb. You can have all these different ideas and stuff. Now you can also ask a lot of different yous. What do you mean by a lot of different yous? Meaning that you can ask different people for ideas. Not just me. You may have a better idea than I do, and share it. Keep on creating that vibe whereby everyone is sharing these different ideas and make it very cool. Now, this is my slogan for online meetings when I say it, is that we refine to define our clarity, define the purpose, we define our vision. So we refine our techniques to set a new definition that, oh, now my meetings are interesting. Now, after refining, do you think that it's better than before, the now and refine? Which one is better, the now part or the refine part? You will be the judge for that, actually. You can actually type in the chat box if you want to have an interactive session. So yes, so we refined. And then we can set a new definition. So now this is all the ideas whereby everyone can use for example. Are you ready for roles? If you do, raise up your hand and give a wave and you can see a lot of different ideas. This is called the interaction with a group of no one in front of me, but everyone online. First of all, one role that you might want to consider in adding to your whole agenda would be the body language monitor. The body language monitor actually features not just how cool that person is or sitting down, but on how they can be better. Like camera settings, are they positioned well in front of the screen? Are there like better positioning? This is our common examples. I'm going to do live of the common issues that we do face online. Some people are doing this. They actually do not know where the webcam is, and they keep on looking down, which is showing a lot of different nice little faces. And then I'm like, oh, I'm talking to you guys. But the thing is that I lack the high connection with you right now. Okay. Now, everyone can actually do like 5 seconds. Look at the webcam and build that bond. Build a friend out of it. Get used to it. And then how you convey. Okay. So when you do presentation by just looking at that camera, this camera is your eye contact with the world. Just like what I'm doing right now. I'm actually looking at everyone around the world. But now I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing panels not looking at the camera. This is how I catch people. Now we see a lot of different nice, we see Evelyn is not looking at the camera, but I know she will and she is possible. Look at the camera and then feel the vibe and speak for at least 2 to 3 minutes and keep on practicing until you get used to it. Now, this is whereby the body language monitor will actually help you to improve on your eye contact, your gestures online. Now, do you think that that's actually a valuable idea to add this role? If you do, you can actually type in chat, say, I'm going to use it next time. Set an action plan. If you want to have this role, try it out. Maybe that will actually improve everything, the vibe of the whole meeting. So if you want to use it, think about adding the body language monitor. There's only one. Now, the second one is very obvious, is you need to know someone that's always playing a nice guitar or musician. What I mean by that is that at this moment whereby someone actually spoke something wrongly and some musician will actually play a that kind of sound, and then you actually can make it better by making sure that you can be nice and interactive, like those kind of sound effects. Obviously, this is what the musician will do. Okay, the musician will actually add some vibe into the whole meeting. Just like if I'm speaking something wrongly and then the musician will actually make the whole vibe interesting. Okay, so this musician can be anyone who knows how to play piano, guitar, etc., but it's still fine. You can download applications online or even like on your phone, play some laughter music and stuff. This is what I do. I'm trying to find the one that I usually do, but don't laugh. Don't laugh, I highlight. Okay, so this is what happens when I want to do a background sound, okay? So let me feature Sarah for a bit because this is usually what I do is like other people speaking at these sounds. So now everyone can actually feel a bit of what I'm going to do. Right? This is actually called the musician role. So this musician role actually add a spice If your club love this kind of roles, then go for it. This is actually my recommendation, my personal favorite, because you can, if the whole club are playful, if the whole club members are like everyone can play. When I say play, meaning that they don't feel offended, then this is actually a way whereby you can stimulate the whole vibe up to the next level. Adding this kind of sound effects, adding this nice vibe, little vibe there, you can try it. If you like to try that, type in the chat box and say, I will try it next time. So you can actually become making sure that it's exercise. So it's up to you. I'm just giving you some examples. You also can play like the kind of like, the kind of like you make the mistake and then they actually sound effect and stuff. You can actually do that. Now this is called the musician role. Now next one is what I usually like. It's called the theme. What do you mean by that? The theme master. So this theme master is not just designing a theme. We set the theme that everyone wear hats today. Everyone wear makeup today. Everyone dress smart casual today. So this theme master will actually give an additional element that everyone who wants to get involved, we will have the best costume award. So let's say, for example, let me try to find any costume that I have, but oh, I think I throw it away. So I have a Halloween werewolf costume, and I would just like, if they are playing like Halloween theme and I have to wear that and I become like those little Red Riding Hood, that wolf there, just to add a little bit interesting elements in play. So there's also like the best costume, like who wears the best costume in the whole meeting? Like imagine yourself wearing the costume in your whole house and your family members are looking at you and say, what are you doing? Like you get them involved, like, oh, I'm actually having an online meeting right now. Would you like to join me? Wear a costume, okay? Get the whole family involved and you can actually have fun. Now, this is whereby I want to see how many people would like to add this idea in there. If you like it and you want to use it, type it in the chat box, say next time I'm going to try it. Make it as an action plan. Now, these are the ideas whereby I think is can make the whole meeting interesting. So don't sabotage me. When I'm doing international speech. Okay, it's not really that great to do a costume online when you're risking all your factors not to get disconnected. Okay, there's a typical element whereby most of the clubs I wouldn't say most of the clubs. Some clubs in particular love to feature this kind of role called joke master, because most of us who are working, like me, I'm working every day very late. I'm very tired. I feel exhausted. I still have to go to a Toastmasters. I still have to go for training of my own personal time. And now I hear a new joke. And I feel so, wow, that's so cool. And then this kind of like you get the whole energy level back. Okay, this is called self-improvisation. Don't call me crazy, okay? But the thing is, I'm just saying that having a joke master will lighten everything up. You bring the vibe back in place. Okay, so joke master actually talk about a light joke. You can actually train people to talk humorously. Okay, so these are the elements in place, so that will be helpful for you. If you like to add the joke master, always give joke at the start of the meeting. Go for it. Okay, give a thumbs up if you like to use that, or you can say, I'm going to try next time. Show us that part. Thank you. Some people have it, so if you have it, good job. If you like it, good job. And then if you want to use it, good job. I cannot think about another sentence of that. Now, there's also something called the chat monitor. So chat monitor is one person actually talks in the chat box and keep the whole meeting ongoing, like answering questions, like how do you do, where are you from? Oh, I have been to Australia, I've been to France, and I love the Eiffel Tower. This kind of like conversation stuff. So this person is like, we call it the typomaniac. So this person is actually just typing there and making sure that everyone is actually in there, like, let's have more chat, let's have more evaluation, let's have more conversation, shall we? And type. So this person is actually a type. Some people hate chats. I assure you. Like, I don't want people talking in my workshop. Like, don't type. That's used for timing. So people will actually have a conflict of interest. So it's up to you. The chat monitor actually facilitates the whole operation of answering questions and making the audience feel that I'm part of this meeting. That's the most important role of a chat monitor. Not just looking at the chats only, but also highlighting the good phrases, or maybe like some highlights. I noticed that someone is from Africa today, and Africa, wow, I've never been there. Like, could you actually let us, and we want to feature you today. we haven't heard from you. Can you let us know more about places in Africa where you have been and share your stories? The chat monitor observes the tiniest details too. So if you love to have a chat monitor in an online meeting, you can give me a thumbs up or at least type. Yeah, we have noticed panels being a typo maniac. This is only a joke, but don't worry, don't take it too seriously. But this part is whereby we want to make sure that the whole flow is in place. Okay, so the chat monitor, if you like it, next time assign a role. Okay, that will focus on this part. Every time you have a new try, record that experience and whether saying that you like it or not. If you like it, why? If you don't like it, how can it be improved? How can it be refined? Remember the method of now and refined? Always think about new ideas to make sure that your roles and your online skill can improve. Is there a way that I can stop my storytelling but start my humor speech? You can think about how to refine your speaking skills better. Now next, chat monitor is okay. Next is the Heckle Master. Anyone know about Heckle Master? No, I don't know. Some people might know, but have you been heckled before? Okay, what do you mean by heckle? Is that, now let's say for example I'm speaking. Okay, I'm speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking. Someone is just say, Aaron, can you stop looking left and right? And someone would disrupt you. Okay, this is called pleasant disruption. But I said pleasant meaning that you try to add some fun, like, Aaron, you don't look handsome. You can't attract girls. That kind of thing whereby you hackle into it and try to make the whole speech up to a next level of humor. This is what the Heckle Master do. Like if you imagine that if everyone knows the rules for this meeting, like everyone keep quiet, only speak when you want to speak, then Heckle Master will realize its full potential. What I mean by full potential is that you have this person that's actually trying to heckle in a light way, because like I know like Sarah, I know like Angela, I know like Sandy now, I know Alicia. For example, I can joke with Alicia and saying that, look, Alicia, you're always wearing the same tops today. Why are you speaking like that again? Like we can actually interrupt and making sure that we let people know more about the speaker in a different way. Hey, why come you haven't showered? Like, how come your hair is messy? And this kind of things actually helps to keep the speaker focused on his speech and also let people have a good laugh. So the Heckle Master can be good in a way. It must be trained. I will say you need to practice and practice and practice, rehearse before you try this method. Because this Heckle Master can be devastating if that person is taking the wrong way around. So if you like Heckle Master, you can actually type in the chat box. I'm going to try next time. Not just making jokes, but also making pleasant interruption. Wait, Aaron, stop. There's a mouse in your house. For example, this can be pleasant if you want to give a nice interruption. But I'm just saying it's not just making jokes. It can be other things that is going into that conversation that makes it more interesting. Special way, no. If you don't like it, don't worry. This is only just recommendation. Some clubs love heckles. There are like 12 clubs around the world that is heckle based. Okay, heckle based. They only focus on heckling. Thank you very much. Good hairdresser. I don't have a good one. So next one is a role that I really like. This is called a question master. So its role is functioning as giving questions at the end of the meeting. So what's so special about question master? Okay, now I'm gonna demonstrate in full line of how question master do. So for question master, for those of you who know this role, is actually after the general evaluator. So this role is actually placed after the general evaluator, and the question master will ask something like this. Now my turn as a question master will test you on whether you're observant in the whole meeting. So ask simple questions that say, for example, how many times does Angela show her face on the screen? Not half the face, not like this, but full face. Now there will be answers, and you'll give the right answers. Like how many times does Manish switch off his webcam and open his webcam again? Oh, those are the questions that happens in the meeting. Oh, who laughed the most in this meeting? Who had the crackiest smile? Oh, how many people wear specs in this meeting? Simple to answer. These are the question master that test your observation skills. How many of you noticed that there's one member in the crowd that has a tooth that's off his face? Like basically there's a missing tooth. Now you can actually pick up all this kind of nice observation skills that makes everyone think, wow, I didn't notice that. You noticed that. Okay, I learned something new today. So question master is the one that's like jotting down notes. Like how many times does Aaron say Aaron? Oh, this is like boring question, but yeah, this is also testing the question now. So question master always asks these elements in place. We call that as a grand observer. So he observes the whole meeting, even more precise than the general evaluator. So if you like this idea or like this role, which I personally is my favorite, you can actually type into the chat box saying, next time I want to think about adding the question master into that role. Adding these new elements will make the whole meeting interesting and also can be professional too. Next, yeah, it's also called a quiz master for some countries. Now, next is the formats. Some other formats that you think about that can be interesting too. Be something called the mysterious box challenge. What do I mean by mysterious box? Is that okay? This is a mysterious box challenge whereby, how will I do so? So everyone who actually being actively participating in the meeting will receive a mysterious box. This mysterious box will have a function card. Okay, this is called a function card. See that on the right-hand side? You have a card that shows your privilege, your power, or over the meeting. This mysterious box challenge is actually like, if you answer it, then you have this ability to either become a question master or like telling you that if you are being a chat monitor, please make sure that you say, I am awesome, I'm handsome in the chat box 3 times. That will be like there will be a dare question too. So this mysterious box will actually give the whole elements that everyone has a mission in the whole meeting. And then do not let that mission be revealed. So let's say, for example, I have to praise Angela 5 times in the meeting. For example, my card, my special power, I have to praise Angela 5 times. And then I have to do it discreetly so that people would not guess my intention. People who ever guess your card, you will have to be pranked. So let's say, for example, oh, Angela, I love your smile today. It's really awesome. Just a praise. And then have to highlight the praise and continue. But next one, blah, 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 blah. After which, Angela, wow, great background on your books. You are a bookworm, right? I love those books at the background. So praise number 2. Make sure that you go on undiscreetly. And then if Angela suspects something like, Aaron, I want to guess that your card is praising me 5 times. If I'm being guessed correctly, I have to suffer a prank. And the prank is unanimous. Let's say basically everyone votes on it, and you'll be pranked after the meeting. So this is like the mysterious box challenge. So you can actually add, you know that in chat box itself, you know that you can share files. Do you know that you can share pictures? If you update the most latest version, you can share pictures. You can share it privately too. You can share these cards, or basically you can get their context, and then this is your mission for today. And then this is called the mysterious box challenge. Now everyone has a mission, and everyone will actually try to evade people from guessing your challenge. And if you successfully win, you can decide who to prank. So we another term called prank master. They don't pin it because you're revealing the card to everyone. Okay, so this is one way where we can actually add some elements in play. Now, this one is actually testing our power of persuasion or power of communication, whereby we communicate in discreet. Now you see how that goes, right? This is also training our communication skills in a different way. Now, if you like this idea, you can put it into place and say, look, I'm going to try this next time for my theme meeting. Because formats are harder to implement, the role takers are easier. Formats, it decides to formats are you need to talk with your whole community, or at least the whole members. They need to know how it plays before you can implement into your meeting. You need to make sure that everyone knows the rules of the game. It's just like if you're going for international speech contest, okay? International speech contest, and literally speaking, you do not know how the international speech contest works. then literally speaking that you do not know how to play and you lose the game. Simple to understand. That's how we actually talk about features. Now next. Now the next thing is the mysterious guest challenge. What's the difference between mysterious box and mysterious guest is that let's say, for example, you can imagine that let's say if I invite Dhananjaya or if I invite some world champion speakers or some people that they may have known for a long time, and I ask them with one mission, very simple: switch off your webcam and rename yourself, okay? And then rename yourself as question mark. So my name will be like this. Let me just rename myself for a bit, just to do a live demonstration. So can you see the question mark on my screen? So, like for example, I would say that today we have 2 mysterious guests into our meeting. Now, in this mysterious guest, if you guess correctly, this person will give you an awesome evaluation for your speech. And then people, would you like to guess if you're a speaker? If you guess correctly, let me give you one hint. This is a world champion public speaker. Oh, no, this one is from District 89. This one is an area director before. So you keep on giving them guess. Okay, and then after which, if they guess correctly, ta-da, that's me. Okay, so this is just an example of what you can do online because they do not know your identity, okay? So if you like this mysterious, because it actually gives you a vibe that is like surprises within surprises. Imagine that you're treating, you have someone that you fancy in the club and you want to give a mysterious gift, like giving them, like, would you like to go out with me, like a movie ticket, for example? This mysteriousness arouses curiosity. This actually is the same feeling that you want to get the whole club involved in guessing and being part of the fun. So this is, thank you very much, panels. But the thing is that this is whereby these elements can work in some clubs. Okay, so for me, sometimes I actually invite a world champion speaker over, or even invite a famous pop star, and then hide in our chat room. And then after which I would say, today we have a special guest for today, and this special guest is hidden within our crowd with a question mark sign. Now I'm going to give you 3 little hints of who this person is. And if you guess correctly, you have a personal movie ticket from me. And this person will help the whole meeting up together. So this is how we do for online. Everyone clear on this part, on how to play this game? This is a game in some way, okay? But it makes it more interesting. Now, you also can think about debates online. You can actually debate with the power of breakout rooms. For those of you who do not know what breakout rooms are, they are like separate rooms within this room, and you divide the contestant like debates, like 4 debaters in each room, and let them discuss on the motion. Motion for coronavirus is the key to success, for example, which is not really true. But the thing is that the debates has to be contentious, has to be something like we should use plastic bags or we shouldn't use plastic bags, and then divide them into breakout rooms and let them have the fun, which is taking the time for table topics. Now, for those of you who love debate, you will find this idea really very nice because Toastmasters table topics, it doesn't feature on debates. And if you add the debate element into table topics online, they'll be much more interesting because it's virtually with a group of people that you might not know. And then you are trying to form a preposition team, train your leadership and train your communication skills. Everyone clear so far on that part on debates? Simple and effective. Now, not just debates, we also have the pair up, whereby this is called, this is actually, I actually refined it to break up room, but it's actually not, it's called break out room. Okay, break out room. So breakout rooms is whereby we actually have a pair exercise whereby I will pair up with each of you with one partner. And you have to practice on the skills that I've just delivered if I've talked about eye contact to look at the screen. So you practice looking each other in the eye in each separate breakout rooms. It's like kind of a speed dating in another way. That you if you're 2 guys, that is also still have speed dating to know each other well. Yeah, okay. So the thing is that if you actually do this way, you actually can bond together better, and then let them have exercise to do. Or you can group of 4 and then let each other practice, like talk about a story and chain effect. That will actually speed up the efficiency and practice what you have learned. So breakout rooms actually involve small groups whereby people can bond together. Remember, online do not allow too much bonding. We give them the opportunity to bond more. Okay, everyone clear on that part? Okay, thank you. We still have people dropping out, so I'm thinking I'm boring people out. Now, there's also something called the talent performance. For those of you who know this character, is a very popular actress in Hong Kong. It's called Jia Gayin, but then I just spoke Cantonese, but it's actually a very popular actress, and also I would say MC as well. She's well versed in everything. Now, what do you mean by talent performance? Talent performance, it means that there will be a group of judges from the members, okay? And everyone will show a talent out. So during the table topic session itself, we will actually show like 2 minutes to show and display your talent. Like we can play guitar, we can do beatboxing, we can do all those complicated hands, which I can't do. We can show how to change our mask or how to beautify ourselves. So show your talent online, and then if people like it, they will like give you a clap. If they don't like it, they will ring a bell and telling you to go off. So this is like the part whereby if they don't like, then like vote. You can vote them, or you can actually have like a game show. Game show type. This is whereby you actually can show your talents in a way whereby you can impress the people around you in the room. This is one way that we do for online to make it more interesting, to add some talents, because we want to know what talents they have. Some people might have talents that we do not know. It is also get to know your members and helps your membership retention, if you think from the other perspective. Everyone clear on this part? Talent performance? Just very clear, simple answer. Now, we also do something called the round robin online. Now, most of you may not heard about this word, but let me ask everyone, how many of you know about this word, round robin? I noticed some people. If you know round robin, basically you have experienced that. Now, round robin is like this. Now we have like 53 people in this room, right? 53, literally in this room. So it drops from 10. So it actually drops by 10%, 10 to 15% of the people participating. So now online itself, we would do a round robin whereby each of you in the square will talk about one positive point and one improvement point for us to improve the next time that we have the meeting. The more comments that you have, the better, right? The more positive ideas, the more improvement points. Then you can make your whole meeting interesting next time, better and more refined. So everyone is a good evaluator on its own. So having people input shows that you respect them and also appreciating them for the time in this meeting. So the round robin is actually whereby we get to have lots of different nice feedbacks. Not just at the end, but round robin can be done in evaluation part, whereby you can invite everyone to evaluate on the speaker. Type in the chat box and say, please have one good point about our speaker and one improvement point for our speaker. Type in the chat box, etc. So let's say if I want to do something, example, say, so far you have experienced 1.5 hours of my time of my workshop. So how do you find the workshop so far? Give me one good point and also one improvement point in the chat box now, if you can. I give everyone like 20 seconds to 30 seconds to type. This is called the round robin effect. One good point and one improvement point. If you can't think about improvement point, don't worry, you can say 2 good points, which I still like it. Okay. So let the round robin sinks in, because you have more people giving you feedbacks that will be even better than just one evaluator. Imagine that 53 people are world-class speakers or great, nice, awesome observers, and they give you this feedbacks for your own good. They don't have anything to gain. They want to improve, help you improve. So you get 53 different feedbacks, and you can know which one will really help you on that. Go on one photo, one concept, informative humor. Thank you, appreciate it. But then I still have 10 people dropping out of the meeting, so I didn't impress the 10 people. I cared. So please bring me back those 10 people. For me, I actually have another additional prop. For those of you who praise me, I will give you this. This is my typical smile. Okay. Thank you very much. Can be more interactive. I would definitely love that too. Now this is like the round robin whereby we, well, I will later on look at more information. Round robin wise, you can do it anywhere. Round robin is involving every single one. That's called a round robin. Now I'm going to give you guys a practice on your creativity. You heard about these ideas so far. You have so many amazing ideas right now. Now I want you to come up with one original idea that I haven't talked about. I purposely left that out. I can come up with 50 to 70 ideas just at a click of a finger. But the thing is, I want you guys to think about one original idea which will be helpful to your club meetings. Don't bring the toilet rolls or the toilet break. That will actually affect everything. Thank you very much on that part. But yeah, think about one original idea that may help your meetings to elevate to the next level. Now I'm going to divide everyone now with 52 people into different breakout rooms, randomly, automatically, into 6 different rooms, okay? And then you have a chat.